Auto ship. So just what is auto ship and why should I have a smart order? It's simply this. There are several implied or spoken promises that we make when people join us in FGX. We tell people that true part-timers can have a positive financial experience. This is what I have observed over the course of my years in this industry. There are not so many real part-time people. There are not so many people who work steadily and consistently and week after week after week, 8, 10, or 12 hours. What I observe instead are a whole bunch of what I call sporadics. A little burst of energy this week and then nothing for 5 weeks. A little burst of energy after the 5th week and nothing for 9 weeks. When auto ship is in place, then every step up the ladder has a fallback. It has a support behind it. Auto ship is a support. When they come back and look at their account after being absent for 3 weeks, they see, wow, I'm still doing volume. Those people I enrolled are still doing business. I've got something actually being built here. You see, minus auto ship, the rock rolls all the way back down to the bottom of the hill. When that sporadic comes back, they take a look and say, oh, there's nothing here for the work that I did before. And so you see, first of all, what it does is make legitimate that first implied or spoken promise that part-time people can really have a positive financial experience in the business. It's one of the keys to our long-term success. The second reason for auto ship is we tell people that they can someday, one day, not immediately, but sooner or later, we can separate ourselves from the generation of income. Well, how in the world will that be if it's always dependent upon the actual physical placement of the next order? That demands that there always be a sales presence in the market. When it, however, is based upon auto ship. You see, what do? We engage in a proven and predictable pattern of activities which results in the new flow of distributor applications. When all it is a new flow of distributor applications without a well-identified auto ship behind it, it is simply a transaction-based business and it never takes on a life of its own, and it does not allow us to separate ourselves from the generation of income. Now here I'll choose to be just very self-disclosing in my own business. I completely lost a battle with drugs and alcohol some number of years ago in my life. And there was a 3-year period during which I was either in a rehab or a jail or a prison. Now, those things are all okay with me. It doesn't bother me to say it. That's the runway behind me. I made it successful the other side of it. But you know what? One of the reasons I'm the single greatest advocate for this industry is because during that 3-year period of time when I was literally incapacitated, when I could not build my business, in fact, when my every action and behavior would seem to kill a business, my income never slipped below $3 million per year. How is that possible? Because I had so many thousands of people who were on auto ship at that moment. Now that wasn't at FGX. That's some number of years before FGX was even born. That's an earlier stage in my life, and I then later sold that distributorship and moved on, which makes it possible for me today to be a happy and grateful, forever green FG Xpress distributor. But I learned more conclusively in that experience than perhaps anyone else ever could that the reason that we establish an auto ship foundation is so that our income can take on a life of its own. And here's a key, I think a life lesson for me. Whenever I contemplate and consider what's in it for me, I will have a certain outcome and it will not be so good. When, on the other hand, I focus on what's in it for someone else, then the laws of the universe conspire to make certain that ultimately I get the best for me as well. You see, I don't consider making my own income permanent as a result of an auto ship foundation that simply cannot be broken. I instead consider helping you create an income that takes on a life of its own and that is permanent because it cannot be broken. Your income becomes permanent based upon the strength of the auto ship foundation that is built in the years that follow that recruiting mechanism. In fact, I will tell you this, I consider auto ship to be so very, very important. I consider it to be sacred. Sacred? Randy, that's a powerful word. Yes, it is. It's sacred. Because if we fully embrace the principles of auto ship, then those people in our organizations will be able to fully live out the dream and the promises that we make, implied or spoken, when they joined us. And by the way, I also think words have promise. I wish that words have power. I wish that I could leap through the camera now, and as I state frequently, look you in the eye and shake your hand, and I would then pose to you this question: do you promise me, as you shake my hand, that before you ever click off auto ship, you will call me so that I can remind you that you're not on auto ship for me, and you're not even on auto ship for you. You're on auto ship for those people down line of you. Because until and unless you fully embrace, completely and totally and without reservation, the principle of auto ship, your group will not. And if your group does not fully, completely embrace auto ship without reservation, then these promises of network marketing, these promises of FGX, that true part-time people can make money, that we can separate ourselves from the generation of income, that our income will take on a life of its own, that we can one day step aside and keep getting paid, and that we can in fact have breakthrough financial experiences. All of this is just empty chatter, minus an AutoShip foundation that is treated with such importance, truly a sacred nature, promises made, it cannot be broken. Then we have truly expressed ourselves as leadership in the business. We've added value to the lives of other people. AutoShip, it's important. I promise. Do you?